The year was 2006, and the Winter Olympics was happening in Turin, Italy. A lot of pressure was on the American skater Apollo Ono for the 500-meter finals in short track speed skating.
No mistake about this, and he said it, I want to win.
It was like something that I was deeply in pursuit of, having a perfect strategic race that would go my way.
As he entered the final lap, he maintained a strong lead.
You're almost like a little bit out of control because you want it so badly, but you're also maintaining composure to protect your lane and your position.
And he pulled it off. After that gold medal, Apollo Ono was launched into mainstream fame. He was in ads, he was on a Wheaties box. His bandana and facial hair became iconic. He competed on Dancing with the Stars and won.
It was an awesome time.
But as an athlete, those 41.93 seconds meant something else too. And not because he was necessarily the fastest skater going into the race, but the smartest and the luckiest.
Every single half a lap had to have occurred in that way in order for me to have had the perfect race.
And here's how he did it. A short track race like Apollo Ono's can be broken down into 4 main parts. The first thing that went right was the start. In short track, 4 to 6 skaters all start on the same line and take off in a free-for-all. Short track skaters don't have designated lanes during the race, unlike long track skating or running events. Short track skaters aren't racing the clock, they are only racing against each other. Which is why short track is all about the way athletes interact, jostling for the right position on the rink, trying not to fall, and avoiding disqualifications from illegal contact. When skaters take off in the 500-meter event, they have one goal in mind: getting to the first turn first. Research shows that whoever leads in the first turn in the 500-meter event is far more likely to win the race. The person in starting position 1 has the shortest path to the first turn, but skaters in other positions with faster starts could box position 1 in from the outside, like the second position skater here at the 2010 Winter Olympics. Today, short track skating positions are merit-based. That means the fastest skater from earlier rounds gets the first position. But at the time of the 2006 Olympics, skater positions were computer selected at random, which would happen right before the race.
I'm in the locker room, I'm sharpening my skates, I'm getting ready. Hear this like scream in the hallway. And it's one of our coaches
who told Apollo that he was selected for the first position. That stroke of luck and a fast start helped Apollo Ono lead in that first turn and hold it the whole way.
He does get to the turn first. This is exactly where Apollo wants to be. He's in first.
A short track rink is an oval that measures 111.12 meters. This shape means that skaters are turning nearly half the time. When they turn, it looks like this.
It actually looks like it doesn't make sense.
At the apex of a corner, skaters are turning on an 8-meter radius and can lean up to 22 degrees, so close to the ice that their left gloved hands graze it. One short track skater told me that at a speed of roughly 30 miles per hour, they are pushing against a G-force equivalent to 2 to 3 times their body weight, like doing a really hard squat, hunched over at an angle on one leg, which is exactly how they train for turns, like these videos that British short track skaters posted online show. In the 2006 race, Apollo Ono used his strength to keep his turns really tight.
Meaning I would hug the middle of the apex of the corner all the way to the 7th block, so there actually was no position to pass on the inside.
There are 2 common ways of executing a pass. Both require using the forces of the turn and the right timing. One is from the inside. The passing skater uses the draft of the skater in front of them to pick up speed, then pulls wider on the turn to slingshot out of the turn and overtake the skater in front on the inside, like this pass from the 2014 Sochi Olympics. The other, trickier pass is on the outside.
The reason why it's so much more difficult to pass on the outside is because you need to have significantly more speed.
An outside pass starts at the apex, using the speed coming out of the turn to sprint past the lead skater as you enter the next turn.
China moved into second.
Like this outside pass also at the 2014 Sochi Olympics.
It's a confidence crusher. If you pass someone and they know that you pass them easily, you're signaling to them, oh, by the way, the 4 years of training you just did, it just wasn't enough. You're just not fast enough. I'm sorry.
When you're in the lead, picking a track pattern is how you keep from getting passed. One common track pattern is the diamond, which defends against passes on the outside, or the peanut pattern, which defends against inside passes. The first 3 laps, Apolo Ohno did a mix of patterns to keep anyone in the pack from picking up speed.
This is really a perfect position for Apolo. He's taking it nice and easy.
So the idea was to kind of skate this track pattern that was a little bit confusing to them, where they would second guess making a move. It's like the person who's walking in front of you in the mall who like keeps stepping in front of you. Like no matter how fast you go, you have to restart your speed again.
On the last 2 laps, Apolo Ohno kicked up the speed
And here he goes. He's just kicking it into gear.
and skated in a peanut pattern to prevent an inside pass.
I knew that the likelihood of someone passing me on the outside in the 500 meters at the last 2 laps, if I'm going 100% all out, was very low. And so with 2 laps remaining, it's exactly what I did.
The last element of short track is the hardest to prepare for. The best way to illustrate this is another one of Apollo's races at the 2002 Olympics in Salt Lake City. This one is infamous in short track history. It was the 1,000 meter final, and Apolo was skating against underdog Australian skater Stephen Bradbury.
I was the favorite to win that race. Nobody considered Stephen to even be in the running to medal.
As the skaters approached the last lap, Apolo was in the lead, and Stephen Bradbury was far behind the pack, until a last-minute scramble resulted in this.
A total wipeout. Bradbury wins. 4 skaters go down.
Falls happen all the time in short track racing because of the fight for the best position on the rink, and sometimes they are beyond a skater's control, which means, like other sports, bad luck can undermine the greatest skill. It also means resilience is a virtue in short track.
You now have this like unique ability to either react and respond in a way that will give you a stewed bitterness for the rest of your life, or you have to reset. Couldn't control that. I showed up as prepared as possible. Life and the universe had a different plan for me.
If you're Apolo Ohno, that plan was that 4 years later, he would get his perfect race. No falls or blunders or passes, just a good, clean win.